Okay. Hope you all can see my screen. All right. So we have talked about this that okay, Salesforce happens to be world's #1 CRM, right? Now, Salesforce, as I told you, provides us a default CRM application. So there's a default CRM application which Salesforce gives us, and along with that, they give us some customization abilities. All right. Customization ability means where you have the option of making changes into the default software. So let's say they have given us a few functionalities, and we can do the customization wherever required. Okay. Customization where required. Right. Now this is this is an interesting point, that customization wherever required. Where required means if you do not have that option, then you should try and build that. So, but before we actually step into that zone of customization, we would actually need to understand a bit about the standard CRM app which is provided by Salesforce, right? So what we are going to do here is we will do a small case study to understand what kind of a CRM app is provided by Salesforce. Okay. And we also understand that different companies, different businesses, different industries have a different process of the sales, right? So the sales process is not same for every company, right? So depending on their requirement, they try to map most of their requirements to the existing CRM which is provided by Salesforce, and then whatever extra is required, that is brought in using customization, or if there are certain things which are not required, which are already there in that CRM, those are removed, right? So primarily that is what we are going to understand, what sort of a CRM or what kind of a process flow they propose, and what kind of a process flow we have a requirement for, and then based on that we are going to think about what needs to be done extra apart from whatever has been given by Salesforce. Got it? So that's what we are going to do. Okay, so here is the case study. Just give me a moment. Okay, so here is the case study on your screen. Just take a couple of minutes to go through this, read it properly, and then we are gonna start discussing on it.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So once you're done reading, you can just type in done or yes in the chat window so that I understand everyone is done with the reading stuff. Varun is done. What others? So whenever we have a class activity, maybe like this or any activity which I ask you to do, once you're done, you can just type it in the chat window quickly so that I have a count who all are done and when are we ready. Got it? Okay. Varun is done, Manjit is done, Harika, how about you? Done. Great. So we all have read the case study. Now let's have a quick discussion, and after that, I'll give you, some time to think about it, and then again we will have a discussion on what did you think and what did you list down. All right. So let me start with Harika. So Harika, what is your understanding about it? What exactly is required? Yeah.
About the sales.
What is
What,
what are you
what,
supposed to do in this case study?
what did I understand from
Yep.
this slide? Okay. So one of the company is selling the laptops and they are deal with the manufacturing, but they need to market them. They need to come up with some marketing ideas so that they can sell their laptops.
It's
So
okay.
this is the
It's not
this
marketing idea. Basically, it's the sales and marketing process.
yeah
Idea
yeah
is different and process is different, right?
okay.
So that's what we need to think about. All right. Okay. Uh, let's ask Manjeet. Manjeet, what's your understanding?
Yeah, hi Jita.
Hi.
So, I mean, okay, all right. As what Harika was saying, like, it's more about as the marketing, manufacturing of all the products has been done.
Hmm.
The products, should have a go-to the market strategy where, the company should identify who are the prospect customers for them first, then start communicating with them, and probably generate a couple of
No,
prospective leads
again,
and
1 minute. Uh, I think I'm asking what did you understand from the question? No, what you are saying is
okay, okay,
what's the answer?
okay, sorry,
We're not
sorry,
talking
I'm
about
sorry.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I basically understood like the company ABC, they have, it's a newly established company wherein they have, they are in the process of business of manufacturing laptops,
Hmm.
and the manufacturing process is over, and now they want to hire a person who can, give them a ideal a suggestion as to how the marketing and sales process can be taken forward.
Right. Sales and marketing process can be taken forward. Varun, you want to add something to this?
I think they got it covered.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So it's about sales and marketing process again. It's not about the strategy or the idea side of it. So we're not talking about creative thinking here. We are talking about how will this company have its sales process streamlined, or what all steps will be involved. What should they do first? Then what should they do in the second, and then third step should be what, right? So right, starting from, so just consider yourself in a situation where you have these these laptops basically manufactured, and you are supposed to start the sales and marketing process from tomorrow. So what will be your first step, and what is the second step in the plan? That is okay. Maybe first thing is I do advertisement, second is I will go and talk to the customer, things like that. You think about it. What will be the steps which will be involved in the entire CRM process? Anything, any interaction which it needs to be done with the customer, which all points that interaction has to be. So what we are going to do is we will have quick 7 minutes, and you just need to open a notepad and write down your steps. Okay. So point step one, step two, step three, that is. So this is what I'll do first, this is what I'm going to do next, that is. All right. So let's start. Time starts now. 7 minutes. Exact 7 minutes. Yep. And then once you are done with this, we are again going to come back and discuss about what you have thought, and we are going to map that to the Salesforce default application so that you understand how Salesforce default application works and how does that fit into your plan of things. Right. Okay. Time starts now. So since we are done, doing our this thing, we are going to talk about it as a team. Can I ask you all to just copy paste that thing in the chat window. Just copy the entire stuff and paste it in the chat window. Let's see what you have done. And then we will discuss it as a team, the same case study, right? Just wanted you to do a bit of initial thinking. Okay, Varun has sent it to me. Okay, so this is what Varun thinks he's gonna do. All right. Jeet has also sent. Harika has also sent it. This is what Harika has sent. Okay. Great. So I have the processes sent by you. Let me first of all start with Varun's thing. What does he say? Come up with the selling cost for laptops. Okay. Decide on the price. Prepare a list of companies. Okay. Prepare a list of companies where you can sell it. Have sales personnel recruited. Hire the sales team. Have discussions with companies. Okay. So the sales people should go and talk to the companies. The list of companies which we have prepared. Keep track of the orders. Take the orders. Receive payments. Deliver the laptops. And get the feedback. Okay. Nice. Harika says we see the number of computers that actually purchased every year on an average. Okay. We see what processor like, what specification cost also includes, does customer see while purchasing it. Okay.
Actually, it has some like the sentence is like we see the processors and some specifications like costs and all which a consumer see while purchasing it.
But
Like I missed some sentences.
why do you need to see that?
Like because we are selling to a customer, so we should see his preferences and his budget and all things. So want to keep that in.
Okay, then we start advertising in various forms and make it comparative so that we can say why they need to buy this product. Okay, get a feedback from different persons about their preference and improvise. All right. Okay, so we are including the advertisement bit of it here. That's good. Okay, let's see what Manjit has to say. Start off with marketing ideas, advertisement, webinars, exhibition, trade shows. Okay, to create brand product awareness, generate prospective leads, pass on the prospective leads to the sales department to close the leads, store the customer data into a database system all through the process of lead access. Okay, fine. That's more like a marketing guide. So too many marketing terminologies here. So, but that's good. So overall, we are talking about the same, line of action. Do some sort of advertisement or research, get the list of companies, and just go and tell them that, hey, see what I have these laptops. Do you want to buy any of those? Right. So that's what we basically what we are trying to do here. Okay. So let's put it in one perspective now. So ideally, let's think about it as a team. So let's start thinking from this point that okay, fine, I have the laptops and manufacturing is done, so I'm not doing any research on what sort of product and all that stuff. What I'm going to doing is I just have to start selling. First thing that I need to do is I just need to start letting people know that I have the laptops and I am selling it, right? So maybe creating awareness, promotion, whatever you call it, right? So a bit of advertisement, right? That can be through different media channel, whatever we prefer, we can do that. Okay, so I'll put all of them into a campaigns category. Okay, so this campaigns will include all the advertisement and marketing activities which we are going to do. Got it? So if you are doing any of these campaigns or any marketing activity, promotional activity which you will start up with initially, those need to be tracked. Why you need to track all those things? Because whatever you are doing, ideally, the concept of CRM is whatever you are doing in sales and marketing, you need to track everything. You're talking to a customer, what did the customer say? You are asking the customer about his preference, you need to track that. If you don't need that information, then you should not you know have that information. But if you have some information, you should store that information so that you can do some sort of analysis at a later point of time, right? So if I'm doing a campaign, I need to track that campaign because my CRM needs to tell me end of the year that which campaign was successful and which was not. If I'm doing newspaper ad and magazine ad parallelly, end of the year I need to understand how many deals did I get from newspaper ad and how many did I get from the magazine ad. For that, first thing that I need to do is I need to track both the campaigns, the newspaper and the magazine. All right. Now let me just go to the Salesforce app. So while we are actually writing this process, let me also keep on mapping the stuff with the Salesforce default app. Okay, right. So on the Salesforce login, we have home and chatter. So let's not talk about these two tabs, home and chatter. We can skip at this point of time. We can talk about it later. Campaigns is where it starts storing the information, right? So we have talked about that CRM requires a lot of data to be stored. So here is the Salesforce CRM app. The first tab for storing information is campaign. And the first step of most of the business process, I would not say that for every business process or for every sales and marketing process it's campaign, but most of the times any company would do some sort of advertisement, and every advertisement comes first, right? Then leads start flowing in, and then people show interest, and then there is an account, and then there is an opportunity and all that stuff, right? So here is the campaign thing. So the first step, campaign. All the campaigns, all the marketing activities that you are doing need to be tracked under this campaigns tab. So you just need to go ahead and click on the campaigns and create new campaign. All right. So let's say I'm actually going to do some sort of a trade show. I'm actually going to a trade show. So I say, okay, trade show in July 2015. It's an active campaign. Uh, Type of the campaign is trade show. The status is planned. I'm actually going there on 22nd of July till 24th July. So start date for that campaign. Whatever type of campaign. See, here are a few of them: advertisement, banner, direct mailers, telemarketing, phone marketing, basically, webinars, conferences, any kind of promotional activity that you're doing needs to be tracked here. Why? So that the CRM can actually have a track of which all promotional activities you did and uh, which one was more successful, and you can actually track the revenue along with that campaign. and end of the day you can understand that which campaign was successful and which was not, and that is like expected revenue, how much revenue you think you can generate from there. So expected revenue is, let's say, and budgeted cost for that campaign is, let's say, this much. Actual cost, once the campaign is done, you will get to know. At that time you can update that. What is the expected response? So if you target 100 people, how many of them you think will get converted? So let's say I feel that 0.5% will get converted. Okay, so out of 200, only one is going to get converted. All right, that's it. So all the campaigns need to be tracked here. Apart from this, in case you want to put any description related to that campaign, you can track it here. All right, and save it. So this way, whatever campaigns you are doing, you will need to track all the campaigns here in the under the campaigns tab. Okay, so this is what the use of campaigns tab is. Now, the moment I have done an advertisement activity or any campaign, let's say I'll go with this example, trade show. So I go to this trade show. I will meet some people who will show interest in my product in the trade show, right? Some people will show interest in buying my product when I'm actually going to a trade show, or when I'm actually uh, doing an online campaign, or if I have a Facebook page, whatever campaign you have. If you do have a Facebook page, you will meet some people who are gonna kind of show interest in whatever you are selling. So in this case we are selling laptops, right? I need to track their information as well. These will be leads. Okay, so right after campaign we have this leads table where the information need to be tracked. All right, let's say we went to the trade show, and in the trade show we met this guy, Mr. Ram Kumar from some company. Let's say he's from IBM. All right, and they require laptops. They said, okay, hey, you know what, we need laptops. So I need to track his information. So for tracking information of the leads, you just go to the leads table. So this is where you will track the information of the leads. So you can just go and click on him. Say Mr. Ram Kumar from IBM Global. If you have his Ram Kumar at IBM global.com, whatever. I mean, if you have his email ID, if you have the website of that company, whatever information you have, you can put. Only these fields are required, the red ones. Okay, which means even if you just keep other fields blank, you can still save the data, but try and put the data that you have. Okay. Okay, important thing here is that you need to connect this lead with a campaign, so that end of the day you can understand that this lead came from which campaign. So here is this campaign option. You can just go and select which campaign did the lead come from. Let's say if I'm doing 20 different campaigns, I can have a lead coming from any of the campaign. So I need to know which campaign did the lead come from. So my lead, let's say, came from the trade show July 2015, which I've created. So you'll have this option, right? And then if you have more information around the industry, that okay, let's say the industry is technology, if you have the phone number, mobile number, whatever information, street address, city, state, province, whatever you have, you can just save all that. Here, so in a way our lead is also created. So all other leads which you receive, you keep on putting the leads under this leads tab. So campaigns is where all the marketing activities are tracked. Leads is where all the leads will be tracked. Okay, and while you're tracking a lead, make sure that you are associating it with a campaign. Okay, so that, I mean, that's optional. You can just enter a lead without associating it with any of the campaign. But if you do that, then end of the year or end of the month, if you're trying to do understand that which all leads, or how much successful a campaign was, you will not be able to do that, because you have not tracked, you have not kept a track of which all leads came from which campaign, right? So that's the second thing. Now, the moment you receive leads, all the leads are not qualified leads. Some of them are qualified, some of them are not qualified. Qualified means some people might ask you that they want to buy a product, they might inquire for the product, but they might not have an actual requirement. Sometimes people will give you a phone number which does not work. They might give you an email ID which doesn't work. You are not never able to send an email to that. We also do that. I mean, sometimes we go to some conferences or some seminars, and we are asked for our mobile numbers, and we just either don't give our mobile number, or we give maybe sometimes a board number, or a wrong number, right? So we just don't want to be bothered. So sometimes these leads that you have received, which you're thinking to be qualified, are not qualified. All right. So that's the reason why it's not advisable to straight away go and create an account for that lead. So firstly, the data gets into the leads, and then the sales team actually tries to verify if the lead is a qualified one or not. If it's a qualified lead, it ideally should be converted into an account, contact, and opportunity. Correct? Which means, so different companies will have different ways of qualifying the lead. So there is no hard and fast rule of qualifying the lead. Some companies might just give a call and see if the customer is actually interested or not. If the lead is qualified, then ideally this lead should be broken into an account, which is the company info, where the company info will be stored, a contact where individuals info will be stored. Individuals info means Mr. Ram Kumar's details. So in this case, IBM Global's details will be stored under account. Mr. Ram Kumar's details will be stored under individual info, and opportunity, where your prospect info, or let me call it deal prospect info, should be stored. Deal prospect info means what are they planning to buy, by when they are planning to buy. I know about IBM, I know about Mr. Ram Kumar, that's fine, but I also need to know what product they are planning to buy, which I think Harika did mention, that try to get the preferences. That's important. When are they planning to buy? If they say that we are planning to buy after 2 years, then I should not be putting too much effort at this point of time. If they say no, we are planning to buy this month itself, we'll need to close it, then I should try more aggressively to sell it within this year itself, right? So that is the thing. When are they planning to buy, or what product they plan to buy, how many numbers they do plan to buy, right? What kind of a budget they have in mind. This kind of information goes into opportunity, right? So once the lead is qualified, all that you have to do is you will have to break your lead into these: account, contact, and opportunity. All the company related info goes into account, all the individual related info goes into contact, all the deal prospect related info goes into opportunity. All right. Now you might be thinking, what's the problem having all these three in one record? The problem is that for one account, you might have multiple contacts, right? When you try to sell a product to a company, then there is not one single decision maker. There can be multiple decision makers. There can be multiple people that you need to talk to before the final decision can be taken. So in that case, what you need to do is you just need to make sure that you are able to include multiple contacts under the account. That's the reason why this lead is broken into three records, which go into three different tables of data. So account will have the company information. Under account, you can have multiple contacts. Even if you have one, there is no problem. And you can have multiple opportunities also under one account, right? So account becomes the parent, contact and opportunity become the child of account. Got it? So here on the Salesforce software, you see that account, contact, and opportunity, these are right after the lead. Okay, so the moment your lead is qualified, all that you have to do is just go to the lead. So if you're the sales guy and you find that the lead is qualified, All that you have to do is just come to that lead and say convert. Converting the lead will automatically break it into account, contact, and opportunity. Okay. So see, IBM Global July 2015 opportunity name, account name. You can create a new account name, or if there is existing account, you can attach it to that existing IBM Global. Contact details automatically will be taken and say convert. Okay. Now there's an account which has been created with the name IBM Global. Okay. Now you have the option of putting more details related to the account here. The account number, revenue, billing address, shipping address, number of employees, kind of ownership, ticker symbol, rating, phone, fax, so much details, right? Scroll down a little, you will see contact added to this. Okay. Okay. Because this account was already existing, IBM Global, and I think there was this gentleman already there listed under this. Okay. So this is all dummy data basically. So this gets added under that account. Okay. If you have more contacts, you can actually go ahead and click on new contact and add that. Right. So while we are trying to sell it to a company, we might need to deal with multiple people. Right. So all those need to be tracked here. All the opportunities need to be tracked under this. Okay, so you can add new opportunity, or you can just click on that opportunity and make changes. So close date is, when are they planning to buy. Expected revenue is how much revenue can we expect from that client from that particular deal, right? What is the kind of amount that we have asked them to pay, what kind of a proposal we have given. Correct. So we have the campaigns, leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities. Any questions so far? It's okay. Okay. Now forecast is something which is required for doing the forecast of the sales. So we are going to talk about it later on. Forecast, reports, and dashboards. These three tabs we will talk later after a few sessions, because these are more to do with analytics and all. Okay. So once once you're tracking the account, contact, and opportunity, this opportunity has a life cycle. Okay. Account and contact are kind of static data, the information that you have put that stays, but opportunity is transactional data. Okay. Here what happens is, here there's a complete life cycle of an opportunity. So there is a start of that opportunity, and then there is an end of the opportunity. Okay. And that's the reason why opportunity has a field called stage. So this stage tracks what stage the opportunity is in. So if you see, it starts from prospecting and it ideally goes till closed won or closed lost. There are different stages: qualification, analysis, proposition, identify decision makers, perception, analysis, proposal, price quote, negotiation. So all these steps, are involved in the deal, right? Initially, there's a prospecting opportunity, and then you give the quotation to the client, and then there is a proposal from your side, and then there is a pricing that they ask for. Then they ask you to reduce the price, and you say, okay, fine, let me go back and get the approval for a reduced price. Finally, either does the opportunity becomes a closed one, or it becomes a closed lost opportunity. Closed one is where you win the opportunity, I mean you get the deal. Closed lost is where you do not get the deal. Here, tell me if that is okay. Now, once the opportunity has been won, in case you have won the opportunity, then what happens? The next is contracts. You will have some agreement or contract with the client, so you can actually go and create the contract details here. Contract is where you do, in this contract, you just try to track the information about the contract, not the terms and condition and everything. Information like Contract is with which company, who is the person who signed the contract, what is the start date of the contract, how many months of contract, when does the contract expire, things like this. All right. So in this case, there's a contract with IBM Global, who is the person who signed that contract. This, sorry, this is the guy who signed the contract, right? If there is a contract start date, how many months of contract, let's say the 10 months of contract, it will automatically calculate the end date of the contract from based on 10 months, this kind of thing, and you can click on save. Okay, then you will take orders. I saw some of you mentioned the order thing. All the orders that you're taking need to be tracked under the CRM. So here you can actually click on new order, need to be connected to a contract number. Okay, so because while you're taking in the order, you will need to see which all terms and conditions uh, have been implemented for that particular order, right? So that's there. Then order start date, and again the shipping, street, cities, state, province, country, billing street, and all these things. Okay, who is the authorized customer who has authorized the order? Let's say this is the guy, and from your company side, who is the person who has authorized? Let's say this is the guy from the company side who has authorized that order. Save it. Done. Okay, then there is cases. Cases is the customer complaint. So I saw that some of you mentioned feedback. We will take feedback. Feedback is one part, nice thing. When we take feedback from our customers, but sometimes after the sales, so sales is done, you take an order and then you will deliver the product. After sales, customers will have some complaints, right? Some issues, some cases, right? Those cases, once you receive from the customer, they need to be tracked as well. All right. So that's sometime later your maybe engineering team can look into those cases and find out which are the common cases and maybe improve the product, right? Or anyhow, you need to keep a track of the cases, which all cases have been resolved and which are still open, that way, right? So cases is where you will come and track all the cases, all right, all the customer complaints. So which customer has complained? This guy has complained from IBM. What kind of a complaint he has? He has an electronic complaint. What is the reason for this? Installation was not done properly. Let's say whatever, right? So you can have all these things changed. Okay. The option that you see here, everything can be customized. Basically, what they have given is a sample kind of thing. Yeah. Instead of installation and all these things, you can actually put some other points here, right? And then you can have a subject line mentioned for the case, what kind of a complaint, and a description, right? And you can have the status of the case, it's a new case or working state or what it is, and then you can, let's say, any internal comments. So this is description which the customer can also see, internal comments which your internal team will only see, right? That sort of thing. And just save this. Case origin, did it come from a phone or email or website? Save it. Right. So case details will be tracked here. Then there is another table which is called solutions. Solutions is where commonly raised cases and their solutions can be tracked. Commonly raised cases means, see, there can be certain things which are very common. Let's say the customer says your monitor goes off automatically, which is not a problem actually, which might be just a function attribute of that laptop, and there can be a small config change which they can do to overcome that problem. All right. So you can track those things under solution, right? So this is more like a knowledge base which your internal team can use as well as the customers can use to see that. Okay, what solutions and all. Okay. And then there is a table for products where you can track all your products. So if your laptops are of different types, I'm taking the laptop example. So if there are different models or something, so you can have a product name and product code. And if it's an active product is something which is still available in the market for sale. Sometimes some products will get outdated and then you should go and make them inactive. Got it? So if you add a product now and next year you stop selling that product, that time you should go and make it inactive. Deactivate the product. Don't delete that, but make it inactive. Got it? Please tell me if there is any question on this. Any questions, any doubts?
Actually, Jeet, that was pretty quick overview, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it was clear, but we still have to go through each and everything. Um, Things like what needs to be extended to what, like for example, leads are extended to accounts, contacts, and opportunities. These
Mm-hmm.
things probably with some more examples, if we try on our developer accounts, it would be better. Um,
Okay, let's understand this. All right. So where is the problem? Did we understand why are we actually converting a lead into account, contact, and opportunity?
yes, that part I understood. Similarly,
Can we
I
do
just wanted to
can we
go
do
through
10
accounts.
examples? Okay. So see, basically this is just the what do you say overview part of it. Fine. More you work,
Okay.
we still have 40 more sessions to go like this, right? So there is a lot more which we are going to talk about, and definitely this was just the first part of it. So don't get bothered that okay this was quick or this was slow. Don't get bothered about that. Let's more focus on are we understanding what is being talked about. That's one. Secondly, can we do 10 examples after this session I did for IBM Global? Can we take uh, Wipro as an example, create one campaign, create a campaign, create a lead for Wipro as an example, create a lead for that, convert that into an account contact opportunity. If you do three, after that I don't think you will even need to understand spend any time on that. Fine. So it's not about that we will do this kind of an example in each of the session, but definitely once you are okay with one example I would expect you to go back and create 3 4 examples. You will have crystal clear understanding about things, right? That's how we should go about it.
Yeah,
Right.
sounds good.
Fine. So this process what we have discussed today is just what do you call it, the sales or the default CRM process that Salesforce has created. All right, so we see it here this way, right? Now the thing is that some companies may have this process, some companies might have a slightly different process, right? Like this is a generic process which I think 80-85% of the companies will be okay with, but there are companies which will require a different process, maybe one extra table. Someone wants to track invoices also, let's say. So somewhere here the client says that hey, you know what, I need invoices after orders, I need invoice. Some company says that oh, you know what, after opportunity there is a demonstration, I need to track the demonstrations. Okay. Some company says that okay, instead of opportunity I need I think I was working for a real estate company and they said we don't have opportunity, we will have it as a site visit. The customer comes and visits the site. So those changes will be required. Fine. So this is overall process which is or not overall, let's call it default. This is the default sales process which the CRM Salesforce default CRM has. Now we can make changes everywhere. Fine. So do a few examples on your own and you will have a clear understanding. Now in our coming sessions, what are we going to do? We are going to learn how to completely change this and create completely on our own and all that stuff, right? So that's how we are actually going to go about it. So we will learn how do we make changes into these, existing objects, and how do we add more objects, how do we remove some of these from here, right? So while we do that, again, you will have a better understanding of what is being done, which is being connected to the other one. Fine. Tell me, do we have any more questions or doubts on this?